Be nonchalant. The most dangerous power is not rage. It is not ambition. It is not even strength. It is the ability to remain untouched when the world tries to break you. Today, every opinion is screamed, every desire is exposed, every weakness is on display. But the man who shows nothing, no hunger in his eyes, no panic in his voice, no desperation in his moves, becomes untouchable. He is the question no one can answer. And what cannot be understood, cannot be controlled. Be still. In a world that rewards noise, silence is the rarest force. Look around you. Every thought is shouted, every opinion broadcast, every movement captured and consumed. We live in an era where quiet feels suspicious, where composure is mistaken for weakness, and where mystery itself has nearly gone extinct. Yet, history whispers another truth. The man who reveals the least, the man who remains unreadable, is often the man who holds all the power. This is the essence of nonchalance, and perhaps the most misunderstood quality of true confidence. Nonchalance is not apathy. It is not laziness. It is not carelessness. It is control. It is composure. It is dominance disguised as disinterest. To be nonchalant is not to stop caring, but to care with precision, to choose what deserves your energy and what does not, to conceal intent, to remain unpredictable. Centuries ago, Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. He warned that appearances themselves are weapons, that a ruler must seem calm, steady, unshaken, even while storms rage inside his kingdom or inside his mind. Because once others glimpse your desperation, they can use it against you. Once they sense your hunger, they can lead you by it. But when they see nothing, no urgency in your words, no panic in your face, no need in your eyes, they are disarmed. They cannot grasp you. And what cannot be grasped becomes dangerous. The nonchalant man is dangerous. He holds his power in restraint. He speaks with economy. He moves with calculation. He does not overshare. He does not rush to react. He does not leak his emotions under pressure. He is disciplined. He is deliberate. And while others scramble to react to every rumor, every insult, every shift of the wind, he waits, he watches, he measures. Not because he is passive, but because he knows. The one who reacts least controls most. The moment you stop reacting, the moment you stop reaching, you begin to draw others in. And since you are still here listening, you're clearly not like everyone else. Hit that subscribe button now. Let this kind of thinking reach you every week, because the world runs from the predictable and clings to the unknown. Machiavelli, in The Prince, warned that a ruler must always conceal his intentions. Nonchalance is the perfect disguise, not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it, not detachment from life, but the discipline to remain unreadable in life's most chaotic moments. To be nonchalant is to think deeply while appearing detached, to care profoundly while seeming careless, to hold the upper hand while pretending not to notice. It is to dictate the emotional climate of the room without ever raising your voice. The nonchalant man plays a different game than everyone else. He is not desperate for attention. He is not eager to prove. He is not controlled by the frantic rhythms of the crowd. Most people live on display. They show their insecurities before they even speak. They apologize before they've been accused. They over-explain. They overshare. They overreach because they cannot stand the thought of being misunderstood. But the nonchalant man understands something deeper. Clarity inside creates composure outside. He doesn't need to prove anything because he has already decided who he is. He doesn't look around to see who's watching. He doesn't adjust his tone for approval. He stands where he stands, calm, steady, unmoved. And this composure is unnerving. It exposes the insecure. It rattles the frantic. Because while others are trying to show confidence, he simply embodies it. Machiavelli warned that it is not enough to be strong. One must appear strong. And in the same way, it is not enough to feel composed. You must appear composed, because perception is power. If others believe you are in control, they will treat you as though you are. If they believe you are unaffected, they will doubt themselves before they ever doubt you. This is how the nonchalant man bends reality, by refusing to display his need. Understand this. Nonchalance is not natural. It is trained. It is earned. It is the product of hours spent mastering the gap between feeling and expression. Most men confuse urgency with action. They confuse visibility with influence. They run at the first spark. They reveal their hand at the first question. They burn themselves out trying to prove they belong. But the nonchalant man has trained himself to wait, to delay, to withhold. He does not confuse motion with progress. He does not confuse noise with power. When he moves, it is only because it matters. And when he moves, people notice. You cannot beg for respect and expect to receive it. You cannot plead for attention and still hold authority. The man who is truly confident does not perform for the crowd. He does not advertise his emotions. He does not reveal his hunger too soon. Even when he cares deeply, he does not rush to show it. He understands that emotion is currency, and currency must be spent with precision. That is why the world respects mystery. That is why people lean toward what they cannot fully understand, what they cannot predict, what they cannot dominate. The nonchalant man becomes the embodiment of this mystery. He is discipline in a world of impulse. He is silence in a culture of shouting. He is the ghost in the room full of noise. And everyone notices the ghost. Everyone feels the presence of the one who reveals nothing, yet sees everything. In the end, the one who says the least often commands the most. Nonchalance is not arrogance. It does not come from ego. It comes from clarity. The man who sees clearly has no need to flinch. He has no urge to react to every provocation. He has already measured the situation. He has already accepted what can be controlled. He has already dismissed what cannot. This is why his world feels calm, not because nothing affects him, but because nothing drags him into panic. Most people reveal themselves without being asked. They show nervous laughter. They explain too much. They beg for validation before they've earned it. But the nonchalant man has broken that chain. He has trained himself to pause before speaking, to delay before moving, to hold his emotions until they serve him, not sabotage him. This is the kind of control Machiavelli admired. He understood that power is more about appearance than reality. If people believe you are unshaken, they will act as though you are. So the nonchalant man never rushes to defend himself, never hurries to clarify, never floods the air with explanations. He allows others to wonder. He allows silence to work for him. Because silence unsettles people. It makes them question themselves. It makes them speak too much, reveal too much, surrender too much. While he gives nothing away. This is not passivity. This is psychological warfare. Think about it. The one who seems to need nothing is often the one who controls everything. What you appear to lack, people rush to provide. What you pretend not to want, they try to offer. Your detachment creates pursuit. Your silence creates tension. Your calm creates authority. But here is the truth. This calm is not a gift. It is trained. The nonchalant man has practiced self-command the way others practice sport. He has built distance between emotion and expression. He has learned that urgency is the enemy of power. The man who rushes loses. The man who waits wins. And when he finally chooses to move, when he finally speaks, when he finally acts, the wait is undeniable. Because scarcity creates value. His presence feels rare. His words feel heavy. His movements feel deliberate. You cannot mistake this energy. It is the energy of someone who does not chase respect, but commands it. The nonchalant man does not confuse visibility with influence. He knows that being everywhere is not the same as being powerful, that speaking constantly is not the same as being listened to. He holds back. He saves his power. And because of that, every time he enters a room, people notice. Machiavelli said it clearly. A prince must appear composed even when chaos reigns, because once others see your panic, you have already lost. The lesson is timeless. Restraint is not weakness. It is the foundation of dominance. Restraint is not the absence of strength. It is the proof of it. Anyone can shout. Anyone can rush to defend their pride. Anyone can spill their emotions the moment they feel them. But the man who resists that urge, the man who can sit in silence while others demand noise, that man is dangerous. Because silence forces a shift. It makes people uncomfortable. It draws out their secrets. They scramble to fill the void. They confess too much. They try too hard. And in their struggle, they reveal themselves. The nonchalant man reveals nothing. He becomes a mirror. In his stillness, others see their own chaos. In his restraint, others feel their own desperation. This is leverage. This is power without effort. Machiavelli understood this game of perception. He wrote that it is better for a ruler to be feared than loved, not because cruelty is the goal, but because fear creates caution, and caution creates respect. Nonchalance walks that same line. It does not beg for affection. It does not chase approval. It earns respect through composure alone. And respect born from mystery is stronger than respect born from familiarity. Think of the rooms you've been in. Who owned the space? Was it the loudest voice, eager to impress, or was it the one who spoke least, but carried such an aura that when they finally opened their mouth, everyone leaned in? This is the paradox of power. The less you reveal, the more people imagine. The less you pursue, the more they chase. The less you speak, the more weight your words carry. The nonchalant man embodies this paradox. He is not silent because he has nothing to say. He is silent because most things are not worth saying. His restraint gives value to his presence. His economy of words gives weight to his voice. His patience gives impact to his actions. Machiavelli warned that appearances often matter more than reality. The appearance of calm creates calm. The appearance of control creates control. And the appearance of indifference creates pursuit. Here lies the deeper truth. A man who truly feels nothing is numb, and numbness is weakness. But a man who feels everything and filters it through discipline, that man is untouchable. He can sit across from insult, from chaos, from temptation, and choose stillness. He does not let the world drag him into noise. He does not let provocation decide his mood. He does not let pressure break his posture. Because he has mastered the art of non-reaction. And reaction is cheap. Response is rare. The masses live in reaction. The confident live in response. The nonchalant man does not act from impulse. He acts from intention. That difference is everything. The world will always test your composure. It will provoke you. It will misunderstand you. It will tempt you to break your silence, to prove yourself, to explain. But the nonchalant man understands. The moment you rush to defend, the moment you chase validation, the moment you reveal urgency, you lose leverage. Power is not about showing strength at every turn. It is about choosing when to reveal it. This is why leaders often speak last. This is why the strongest men don't need to shout. Because when you are truly confident, your silence already speaks. You don't need to insert yourself into every conversation. You don't need to argue every point. You don't need to be seen at all times. You wait. You observe. You allow others to exhaust themselves. And when the noise settles, when the arguments collapse, when the crowd has tired of its own shouting, your calm remains. Machiavelli warned that fortune favors the bold, but boldness is not always loud. Sometimes boldness is restraint. Sometimes boldness is refusing to take the bait. Sometimes boldness is letting others underestimate you while you hold the real cards. This restraint is not weakness. It is patience with teeth. It is calm with a blade hidden beneath. The nonchalant man uses this naturally. By holding back, he creates intrigue. By revealing little, he creates curiosity. By moving rarely, he creates impact. His silence is not emptiness. It is a strategy. His calm is not detachment. It is discipline. And discipline is the highest form of self-respect, because every time you withhold a reaction, you prove to yourself that you are in control. Every time you refuse to beg for attention, you prove that you already carry it within you. This is the quiet confidence Machiavelli admired, not the roar of ego, but the weight of restraint. True nonchalance is not an act. It is not a mask you wear for approval. It is not coldness for the sake of appearing strong. It is sovereignty. It is mastery of self. It is the refusal to be dragged by impulse, by fear, by noise. Machiavelli understood the theater of power. He saw that perception is influence, and that to rule, one must master not only actions, but appearances. Appear desperate, and you will be treated as weak. Appear calm, and you will be treated as capable. Appear detached, and you will be feared. The nonchalant man plays this theater flawlessly, not through lies, but through discipline. Not through manipulation, but through consistency. He is not calm in public and chaotic in private. He is not impressive only when watched. He is the same in solitude as in the crowd. And that consistency creates trust. It creates certainty. It creates control. Others realize they cannot provoke him, cannot shake him, cannot lure him into reaction. So they adjust themselves, they hesitate, they doubt, they confess, because his stillness becomes their mirror. And in that mirror, they are forced to confront their own noise. This is not superiority, this is sovereignty. It is not about being above others. It is about being the master of yourself, the ruler of your emotions, the architect of your presence. That is why nonchalance lingers. Because people may forget your words, but they never forget how you made them feel. And to be in the presence of someone who does not flinch, who does not chase, who does not beg, that presence is unforgettable. It feels like gravity. It feels like dominance. It feels like quiet power. If you want respect, stop performing. If you want influence, stop over-explaining. If you want confidence, stop reacting to everything that demands your attention. Instead, start watching. Start withholding. Start treating your energy as the most valuable currency you own. Because it is. The man who can sit still under pressure, who can remain silent in insult, who can walk away without fear of being misunderstood, that man holds true power. Not the kind that flashes and fades, but the kind that endures, the kind that bends perception, the kind that shifts the emotional balance of every room he enters. Nonchalance is not about caring less. It is about caring wisely. It is about directing your attention only to what matters and refusing to waste it on what does not. It is quiet strength. It is sharp restraint. It is strategic presence. And it is rare. The nonchalant man is remembered not for what he shouts, but for what he withholds. Not for the noise he makes, but for the calm he carries. So if you want to embody true confidence, practice this discipline. Do not be rushed. Do not be baited. Do not be shaken. Because when the world is frantic, the calm man commands it. Be nonchalant, not to appear powerful, but because you already are.